Welcome, dear Sagittarius. Whether you're a longtime archer of the stars or just wandered in with cosmic curiosity to my channel, Zodiac Talks Tarot. Here, wisdom meets humor, astrology meets psychology, and sometimes Buddha himself might wink at you. Buckle up, truth, laughter, and adventure await. Sagittarius, the warmest flame, the fiercest fire. Let me tell you something, friends. I've been studying the zodiac for decades, not just as abstract symbols in the sky, but as living, breathing forces shaping human behavior. And Sagittarius, oh, Sagittarius, this is a sign you cannot overlook. They're the kind of people who walk into a room and suddenly it feels like someone threw open the curtains and let the sun blaze in. Their laughter carries, their optimism lifts others, and their generosity makes them unforgettable. But here's the paradox, the same fire that warms your soul can scorch the earth when provoked. That's why Sagittarius is both the nicest friend you'll ever meet and, under the wrong circumstances, the most dangerous. Now, before I dive into the layers of this fiery sign, let me remind you, this is the year of triumph 2025, and for the chosen ones walking this path, Sagittarius energy will show you exactly how kindness and danger can live in the same heart. 1. Forgiveness without forgetting. Sagittarius has the rare gift of forgiving quickly. They don't like to marinate in bitterness, it slows down their quest for freedom and joy. You'll notice they'll often say, "Don't worry about it," and truly mean it for the moment. But don't confuse that with memory loss. A Sagittarius heart is generous, but their mind is a steel trap. Psychology calls this selective emotional recall. They release the venom but keep the lesson. So yes, they'll laugh with you again, maybe even invite you for drinks, but deep down, they'll remember exactly how you wounded them. If you do it twice, don't expect a dramatic confrontation. Expect distance so cold it feels like you're talking to a stranger. And if you've ever been iced out by a Sagittarius, you know it's not just absence. It's a silence that echoes. 2. Humor as a shield. Have you ever noticed how Sagittarians are the ones cracking jokes at funerals or making light of the heaviest situations? People say it's inappropriate. I say it's survival. Sagittarius uses humor as a shield, a coping mechanism that psychologists call sublimation. Instead of sinking into despair, they redirect their pain into laughter, not just for themselves, but for everyone around them. Here's the catch, people often mistake this for invincibility. They think, if they're laughing, they must be fine. Wrong. Deep beneath the jokes, there's a raw heart that bleeds just like anyone else's, maybe even more so, because they carry the weight for others too. And when you mock that vulnerability, when you exploit their humor as weakness, that's when Sagittarius explodes. And believe me, you don't want to be in the room when the laughter stops. 3. Kindness without calculations. One of the reasons Sagittarius feels so refreshing is because their kindness isn't strategy. They're not tallying favors or keeping receipts. They'll compliment your shirt just because it brightened their day, not because they're angling for something later. But here's where the danger creeps in, Sagittarius notices everything. They're like the friend who smiles while quietly clocking the fact that you only call when you need something. They won't confront you right away. They'll let you hang yourself with the rope of your own behavior. And when the day comes, when they quietly step back and you're left confused, don't say "I didn't warn you." With Sagittarius, there's no second announcement. One day the door is open, the next it's bolted shut. 4. Fierce protectors, but conditional. When Sagittarius loves you, they defend you like blood. They'll show up unasked, stand by you when everyone else vanishes, and fight battles you didn't even know you were in. It's loyalty of the highest order. But loyalty, to them, is a two-way contract. Betray it, and they won't scream or start a war. They'll simply revoke your membership to their inner circle. It's like being exiled from a kingdom you'll never get that passport stamped again. And here's where my years of study and a little Buddhist wisdom kick in. True loyalty is compassion paired with discernment. Sagittarius embodies this balance. They'll protect you fiercely, but they'll also walk away the moment they sense dishonesty. Because for them, truth is the soil in which loyalty grows. Without it, there's nothing. 5. Honesty that burns. We need to talk about the Sagittarius brand of honesty. You know how some people say, "I tell it like it is," but they're really just rude? Sagittarius isn't like that. Their honesty comes from a belief that truth is respect. To lie to someone, in their mind, is to say, "You're too weak to handle reality." And Sagittarius would never insult you that way. But oh, here comes the danger. When provoked, when disrespected, that honesty transforms. Suddenly, it's not just truth, it's weaponized truth. And because Sagittarius has been quietly observing all along, they know exactly where your soft spots are. They'll drop one sentence that feels like it's been sharpened for years, and you'll never forget it. It's not cruelty, it's precision. Like a philosopher with a sword, they slice through illusions and leave nothing but raw reality. 6. Freedom as non-negotiable. Here's where Sagittarius is both inspiring and intimidating, their need for freedom. Try to cage them, and you'll see rebellion faster than you can say commitment issues. This isn't about irresponsibility, it's about oxygen. Just as a fish can't live without water, Sagittarius can't thrive without space. I've watched people try to clip a Sagittarius wings, partners demanding constant attention, bosses micromanaging, friends who text every 5 minutes. And every single time, the result is the same: Sagittarius vanishes. Not angrily, but with a quiet finality. Freedom to them isn't a request. It's a boundary carved into their DNA. Break it, and you don't just lose their presence, you lose their respect. 7. Generosity with limits. One of the most charming things about Sagittarius is how quickly they show up when you need them. Car broke down? They're there. Heart broke down? They're there too. They'll lend money, time, energy, whatever they've got. But here's the catch: do not mistake generosity for endless supply. The moment they sense you're taking without giving, or worse, manipulating their kindness, they shut the tap. Not with drama, but with silence. And here's the psychological beauty: they don't even need to lecture you. Their absence does the talking. It's the ultimate Sagittarius paradox: they'll give you the shirt off their back, but if you keep asking without gratitude, they'll disappear wearing nothing but dignity. 8. The calm before the storm. Sagittarius is often the calm one in chaos, the friend who says, "Let's not overreact." They dislike drama, preferring solutions over screaming. But don't be fooled. That calm is not infinite. It's a reservoir with a dam, and when that dam breaks, the flood is biblical. They'll unload years of observations in one fiery speech that leaves you stunned. And the worst part? Every word will be true. Because Sagittarius doesn't exaggerate. They've been filing away receipts, waiting for the right moment, and when it comes it's devastating. That's why I often say, if a Sagittarius explodes at you, it's not the explosion that should scare you. It's the fact that they stayed silent for so long. 9. Adventure over drama. Sagittarius thrives on adventure, not chaos. They'll happily book a last-minute flight to Bali or start a new hobby at midnight, but what they won't do is stick around for endless bickering and emotional storms. This is a sign that understands a simple truth: drama is dead weight on a journey that requires light luggage. They'll give you patience at first, maybe even a few jokes to soften the tension. But if your presence constantly feels like walking through a thunderstorm, they'll choose distance. And they'll do it gracefully: no slamming doors, no social media rants. Just quiet absence. If you ever notice a Sagittarius vanishing without conflict, Trust me, it's not because they were careless. It's because they valued their peace more than your drama. 10. Laughing with you, never at you. Sagittarius has one of the sharpest senses of humor in the zodiac. They'll laugh with you until your stomach hurts, and their playful teasing can make a dull afternoon unforgettable. But let me be crystal clear, disrespect is their line in the sand. Cross that line, and the laughter dies instantly. They may not call you out immediately, they prefer observation over confrontation. But if the pattern continues, their humor turns off like a switch. Suddenly, the warmest comedian in your circle becomes a silent audience member who wants nothing more to do with the show. So yes, laugh with a Sagittarius. Joke with them. Be silly. But always with respect. Because once they decide you've mocked their values, you'll never hear that laughter directed your way again. 11. Optimists until reality hits. Sagittarius is wired to see the best in people. They walk into every relationship with wide-eyed optimism, believing there's good in everyone. It's why they give second chances so easily. But here's where it gets dangerous. Once they realize you're consistently showing them your worst, lying, manipulating, or draining their energy, the shift is instant. They stop hoping for your potential and start responding to your reality. It's a psychological principle known as disillusionment. The Sagittarius version of it is swift and merciless. They won't hate you, they'll simply recalibrate. And once they do, their tolerance for your nonsense drops to 0. 12. Space givers, boundary builders. One of the nicest traits of Sagittarius is that they naturally give people space. They're not clingy. They won't demand constant validation. They understand that independence is oxygen. But boundaries are sacred. Abuse that space, take without giving, manipulate, or play games, and you'll see their other side. Unlike some signs who fight to fix things, Sagittarius doesn't waste breath on warnings. They'll simply withdraw, their patience evaporating into cold indifference. They don't do revenge. They do detachment. And in many ways, that's more powerful. Because revenge requires energy. Detachment requires mastery. 13. Energy that lights rooms but isn't infinite. Spend 10 minutes with a Sagittarius and you'll feel it, that spark, that contagious enthusiasm that makes life feel exciting. They can turn a dull dinner into a festival just by showing up. But here's the truth people forget, that energy is not an endless fountain. It runs on reciprocity. If they're always the ones lighting the fire and no one bothers to add wood, eventually the flame dims. And when Sagittarius feels drained, they don't complain, they vanish. Not dramatically, but quietly. It's their way of saying, my energy is a gift, not a duty. If you respect it, you'll get warmth forever. If you abuse it, you'll be left in the cold. 14. Helpers, not fixers. Sagittarius will drop everything to help you once. Need a ride? They're there. Need advice? They're there too. But if you come back again and again with the same problem and no effort to change, their generosity hardens into steel. They believe in effort meeting effort. They'll happily help you climb, but they won't drag you up the mountain while you nap in the backpack. That's not loyalty, that's exploitation. And Sagittarius won't play that game twice. 15. Calm until the storm breaks. Sagittarius usually plays peacemaker. They dislike screaming matches and prefer rational conversations. But their patience has a threshold. And when it breaks out, you'll know. The explosion is not messy, it's surgical. They'll deliver years of observations with brutal clarity. And because they rarely exaggerate, everything they say will feel like a laser-guided missile of truth. The danger isn't in their anger, it's in their accuracy. 16. Brutal honesty as love, or as fire. We touched on honesty earlier, but it deserves its own spotlight. Sagittarius honesty comes in two modes, love and fire. In love, their truth is uplifting, inspiring, even funny. They'll tell you you're wrong, but they'll do it with a grin that makes you laugh through the lesson. But when provoked, that truth turns into fire. They'll speak with precision, sometimes with words that sting for years. Not because they're cruel, but because they refuse to live in illusions. In Buddhist terms, truth is like medicine, bitter at first, healing in the end. 17 Loyalty like steel until it snaps. Sagittarius loyalty is quiet but profound. When they commit to you, it's not casual, it's a soul contract. They'll defend you in your absence, support you through storms, and protect you like family. But once betrayal enters the picture, it's over. No yelling, no begging, no long speeches. Just cold withdrawal. And here's the chilling part, even years later, they'll never see you the same. That loyalty, once broken, never regenerates. It's the paradox of fire, it can warm you forever, but once it burns down, you can't relight it with the same wood. 18 Karma works faster with them. Sagittarius doesn't waste energy plotting revenge. They trust the universe to handle balance. And strangely, life always seems to confirm this trust. People who wrong them often self-destruct without Sagittarius lifting a finger. It's almost mystical. Maybe it's their clean break, maybe it's their moral compass, but karma circles them like a hawk, quick and decisive. Their absence alone can unravel someone else's mask. That's why many call them untouchable. They don't fight dirty. They just step aside and let life do the dirty work. 19 Listening softly, speaking with fire. Sagittarius is one of the best listeners in the zodiac. When you pour your heart out, they're fully there. They hear not just your words but your feelings. But when it's their turn to talk, brace yourself. Their words come with conviction, clarity, and often, humor so sharp it doubles as a scalpel. If you're honest with them, their fire will warm you. If you're deceptive, their fire will burn you. It's a balance that makes them unforgettable, soft ear, sharp tongue. 20 Your best ally or your hardest lesson. And here we arrive at the truth of Sagittarius. When they're on your side, you feel unstoppable. They cheer you on, make you laugh, defend your name, and guide you with wisdom that feels ancient. It's like having your own philosopher warrior as a best friend. But when you betray them, use them, or disrespect them, the lesson is unforgettable. They won't scream, they won't scheme, they won't drag you into drama. They'll deliver one sharp truth, and then vanish. It's final. It's permanent. And it's unforgettable. For the chosen ones stepping into the year of triumph 2025, Sagittarius stands as both inspiration and warning. They remind us that kindness doesn't mean weakness, and freedom doesn't mean carelessness. They show us how to laugh through pain, forgive without forgetting, and defend truth even if it means standing alone. And maybe that's the greatest lesson Sagittarius gives the world, to live with a heart that is both open and guarded, generous and discerning, humorous and brutally honest. They're the Zodiac's philosopher clown, warrior sage, and eternal adventurer rolled into one. Love them right, and they'll lift you higher than you thought possible. Cross them, and they'll leave you with a silence you'll never forget. Because with Sagittarius, it's always all or nothing. And in the year of triumph 2025, that all feels like sunlight and that nothing feels like the coldest night. Dear Sagittarius, life isn't just a battlefield, it's also a dance floor. So laugh louder, love bolder, and enjoy every fiery moment. And hey, if this wisdom sparked a smile, don't be shy, like, share, and subscribe to Zodiac Talks Tarot. Even warriors need reminders to party.